Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about different personality colors and how that might affect your homeschool experience. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, my name is Adrienne and I am a public school teacher turned homeschool mom. So I empower moms to provide a stable, healthy environment for their kids by supporting them through homeschooling and sharing ways to live toxin-free. This video is going to specifically focus on personalities and homeschooling. So when I was teaching, we had an in-service, so a meeting, and we had a guest speaker that was coming to talk to us about different personality colors. And it is the only meeting that I specifically remember all the details about in my whole 10 years of education. So if that tells you anything about the impact that it had on me, I still actually have the little cards that they handed out with the different colors because it was just so fascinating to me and so useful, which unfortunately is very rare in meetings for teachers, at least my experience. So I dug through my stuff and found those cards and kind of thought about how that applies to our kids as we're homeschooling, and I am going to share what I have learned with you. So the first color I'm going to talk about is the blue color personality. This person is very in tune with their emotions. So if you have a child who is very emotional, very much into the feels and making decisions with their heart instead of their head, they may have a very high blue personality. Their love language most likely is going to be quality time. They want harmony in their environment. They don't like it when things are off, when people are upset, when there's conflict. They don't like that. They want things to be in harmony. Oftentimes these people are very nurturing, very creative. They want to have deep connections with the people around them. They don't like small talk and like just the shallow fake stuff. They want it to be deep because they want to go to the emotional level. They're very compassionate, and in a learning setting, the people with blue personality colors tend to respond best to warm and friendly people who are teaching them. So not the drill sergeant type, probably not sit down and do your work and complete this worksheet or else kind of deal, like a loving mom or other caregiver adult in their life who's going to come and snuggle with them while you read a book or play a game or whatever it is. So just kind of keep that in mind if you have a very emotional child, that they're going to respond better to that warmth and that love and that compassion that you can give them, instead of the authoritarian, like, I'm your parent, listen to me kind of deal. The next color is green, and this color is very logical, so pretty much opposite of the blue. They're very decisive, very logical. They want to understand, they want answers, they question authority, they're strong-willed. Sometimes they're oblivious to emotions. I'm pretty high in green and I can agree. They want like a perfect playtime, that there's only one way to play with the toy and it's their way kind of deal. They can often become isolated because of their lack of understanding of emotions and perfection drivenness. Even if they're playing with other kids, they might not get along because the kids aren't playing by the same rules, or they're not using the dinosaur the same way. Whatever it is, it can be very stressful for them when things aren't going the way that they think they should. And in the school setting, people with a green personality often need to gain the respect from their teachers before they can learn from them. And I can attest to this. That was very important for me, that I respected my teachers and that I knew that they were well equipped to train me and teach me. In the school setting, at home, I believe my daughter has this very same personality color, and it is really important that she knows that I am doing my best and that with God's help, we are going through this work so that she can learn and improve herself and get better and get smarter and get more skills that she can use in her life. So green is the very logical, like, everything has to be in order kind of way, maybe even borderline OCD. Yeah, the next color is like a yellow color. They really call it gold. And this is like your loyal, responsible, dedicated. They want to make and keep their commitments. If they say that they're going to do something, they will do it. They're not flaky at all. They're very much like by the book as far as how things should happen. Like if they tell you that they're going to give you a ride or whatever, they're going to be there to pick you up. You don't have to remind them like 3 times, right? They want to be on time. They're very goal oriented. They value traditions and they want to have a structure. So they like the predictability of having a structure in place, and very traditional usually. They are leaders, and these people with this personality performed the best in school because of the structure and the routine that school often provides in your life most of the time, right? In traditional brick and mortar public schools and even private schools, really. So if you have a gold personality child, they're going to really thrive in a setting that has lots of structure. They're probably going to want a schedule, some kind of idea of what's coming, what happens, what comes next. My daughter is also very strong in this color, as am I. So I can attest to the structure piece and just knowing what's coming next. So I've actually started with my daughter sitting down and planning out her week, so she knows what's coming and she knows what's ahead of her. And then as far as school, we have a very predictable schedule that we try to stay on to the best of my abilities. I mean, part of the perks of being a homeschooler is you get to change that schedule if you need to, if you want to run an errand or take a field trip or go to the park, do your school outside. So it changes a little bit, but for the most part, we have a very similar structure that we follow every day, so she knows what to expect and she can be prepared. The last color is orange, and these are going to be your super adventurous people. They're risk takers, they're bold, they're spontaneous, extroverted. They want to be in a very laid-back environment. They are not planners at all. They love to be the center of attention. They like lots of variety. So doing the same thing over and over again would be super great for a gold personality, but it would make an orange personality person go crazy. Like they would be so bored doing the same thing. Maybe eating the same lunch every day would just drive them insane. They're very competitive. They want to compete with other people. They are most often optimistic, like they see the glass as half full instead of half empty, and they're active. They, as far as the learning piece, they learn by doing, and they are not going to be great with just listening and reading to absorb. They need to be doing something with their hands so that they can learn through that. We call that kinesthetic learners, and in a few weeks I'm going to cover different learning styles and give you some tips with that. So those are the 4 main colors that I was trained in many years ago. When I tried to find information on these colors, I discovered that there are lots of different color tests. There are some tests that include the color red. There's some that had like 6 or 7 different colors. So there are lots of different options out there. I will throw the link to more information and a test that you can take for these specific colors at the end of the video. But just know that this is just one option, and this is all really a human's perspective of trying to understand this complex being that God has created. So just take it with a grain of salt, so to speak. A grain of salt, a grain of sand, I don't remember. So just a great way to help you understand more people and possibly your children, depending on their ages. My 2.5-year-old is definitely an orange. She keeps us on our toes. And my middle one is definitely blue, very in tune with emotions. So it just depends on the child how easily it is going to be for you to pick out their colors and just see their personality. As their parent, you're going to be able to decide for yourself what they kind of go towards. You're going to know already probably that they need to learn by doing with their hands, or if they love to read and listen to someone reading to them, and you'll just be able to pick out those preferences for your kids. And another blessing of homeschooling is being able to tailor your instruction to meet their needs. So if you have an orange personality child or several orange personality children, then you're going to want to make it as hands-on as possible. Now, everything can't be hands-on. There has to be some kind of learning and writing practice, but you can be very creative with that. And we are super fortunate that we are homeschooling in today's time, because there's so many resources for you to get ideas from. And even if you're going to tweak them, it's always better to not start from zero, right? You're not building it from scratch. You're just taking something and modifying it to fit your needs. So I'd encourage you to reflect on this, maybe even jump over to this link and take the quiz for yourself. I know for me, it's been very enlightening as I'm learning more and more about different personalities. Next week, I'm gonna do another personality video. So it's really helpful to understand where you're coming from and where your kids are coming from as far as planning things out. So I hope this video gave you some value, and I hope you can take from this some information and apply it to your homeschool life and your homeschool day.